Hello and welcome to my virtual open house. My name is Chuck Witt and I will be talking about my physics prep class. So I'm going to go through a little biographical information, some course expectations, grading policies, and end with talking about our Canvas page, which is the course management system that your students use on a daily basis. So a little bit about me. My wife and I live in Downers Grove. We have 3 children. Our oldest, my daughter, is a graduate of Temple University, now lives in Boston, works out there for Liberty Mutual Insurance, doing very well. My middle child's a son and a senior at Iowa State University studying aerospace engineering. And then our youngest, a son, is a senior at Downers South High School. This is my 17th year teaching at Lyons Township. Loved every minute of it. 26th year overall. I spent 9 years teaching at Fenwick High School prior to coming to LT. In those 26 years, maybe all but 3 of those years, I've taught both math and physics. This year, sadly, no math, but given that physics is really just a application of math, it's a math course in disguise. So I'm never quite away from the math. Also, I am the sophomore math team coach, and we learned that that activity will be taking place remotely this year. So the sophomore content level is geometry. That goes hand in hand with the course. When I teach math classes, it's typically geometry courses. So those go hand in hand. I also do athletic supervision. So in the fall and springtime, I'm kind of an extra, I'm an assistant to the athletic director. They can't cover all the events and all the days that they happen without everything that goes on between the 2 campuses. So I kind of help out in that capacity. And fingers crossed this year, we'll see some football in the spring and basketball in the winter. And I do, for home games, work the scoreboards for both of those, boys basketball and then also the football games. So you see my contact info at the bottom. It's typical LT email, first initial, last name at LTHS, and that is the best and most efficient way of getting a hold of me if you need to talk. I should return all emails, within 24 hours, so at the longest. Okay, this page is dealing with course expectation. This information is also listed in the syllabus, but because this is a video, you can also pause and kind of read the fine print. I think all I really want to focus on right here is the participation. Obviously, if we were in class, I'd want all my students participating daily in discussions, large group, small group, and that expectation still holds true, with Zoom meetings. We have videos on during our meetings, and I can see reactions, and we can have discussions, and I can put them in small breakout rooms, and they can work in small groups of 4 to 5, and really we try not to miss a beat, right? It's supposed to mimic the classroom as closely as possible, and I'm hoping that is happening with the students. Okay, as far as grading goes, LT's making a switch in the grading policy. We now have letter grades A through F to communicate achievement. These grades are a result of summative assessments. There are also formative assessments, which don't count towards the final grade. Those would be more like daily coursework. Some labs I would consider formative, where we're kind of just learning some content or learning some procedures. So we've done formative labs up until this point. And then the summative assessments are the bigger, unit tests and maybe some bigger labs where we're applying our content, not learning it, but actually applying it. So those would be considered summative, and those are what go towards the final semester grade. So summative assessments in terms of the unit tests will be made up of 3 individual standards, each with their own grade. And everything that is assessed, whether it be formative or summative, I will put into Infinite Campus, into the gradebook, so you can see all those scores. And I'm going to try to break them down by objective and whether they are formative or summative. So just continuing on that, the letter grades A through F are come about following what's stated here. the expectations are to meet learning goals. So if you meet all the goals for a particular objective, you're going to get an A. If you're meeting most of them, a B, some of them a C, and so forth down this list. But I'm going to give, you know, and it's a letter grade that's being assigned, but Infinite Campus rather, needs numbers to be able to calculate a grade. So I will put in 95 for an A, 85 for a B, and so forth, realizing that those are not percentages, okay? Those are not percentages. I'm not giving percentages, I'm giving letter grades, but Canvas has to see a number to be able to calculate. So those are simply variables, right? Not percentages, and that's important to remember. Any summative or formative grade that is not attempted, you know, if there's no attempts, I'll put it in as missing until the final grades are due, and then those become incompletes, which carry a score of a 50 as in terms of calculations. That would, an incomplete, you know, is kind of the lowest grade that can be achieved. And all summatives have the opportunity to be retaken, whether it's a test or a lab. So I've talked to this, you know, I've spoken to the students about how those retakes can be achieved, and also this information is on the course syllabus as well. Okay, so Canvas, our course management system, is where, you know, on a daily basis the kids are starting and spending most of their day, at least during my class. So that link to Canvas is found off the LT website, and what we can do is, let me take you over to my Canvas page. Okay, when they click the link to Canvas and sign in, all their classes are there. If they go to the physics page, they're going to see this, and this is where they're going to see the link to get to my Zoom meetings on a daily basis. And then here's our list of units. How many of these we get to this year, we shall see based on our remote learning model, but we're going to do our best to get to as much as possible. So we're starting off with constant velocity. Clicking on that takes us to a calendar for the unit. Here's actually a link to the syllabus if you would like to see it. You can, I believe, join Canvas as an observer, or you can easily get on through your students' credentials and log in information. But you can get to this calendar and you can see we've got it divided into, you know, the gold and blue days, periods 4 through 1, periods 5 through 8. So students know where to look for what's happening on a given day, whether it be synchronous learning or asynchronous learning. All these blue highlighted tabs are links to either Word documents, Google documents, PDFs, or Canvas material, say Canvas quizzes. So they can turn labs in via Canvas, uploading pictures. They can take quizzes on Canvas to assess, in this case, this Canvas quiz is assessing a lab activity that we did with circles and rectangles. There are worksheets and keys that can be found here. We will do a lot of work on the worksheets together in class, and that's where that participation is happening in a Zoom meeting. But of course, there's always keys here as well, because we won't get through all of them in class. And then let's see, down at the bottom, all the way down here, you can see there's the testing. So when it comes time to test, here are the 3 separate tests. Our test will involve a Canvas quiz and then also an upload of a picture of handwritten work that's done to support the test. There's also Canvas quizzes to do that are practiced before the test, and then also become kind of the hurdle that has to be cleared in order to do a retake. Okay, and that'll do it for tonight. So I know that was quick, but again, if you have any questions, you've got my email address. Feel free to reach out, and let's hopefully we have a great year. Thanks for watching.